You're listening to The Feel Better Show, brought to you by The Force. It's The Feel Better Show! This is Feel Better with The Feel Better Show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Feel Better Show. I am, of course, your host with the most Feel Better, and with me, as always, is my Chewbacca, DJ Overflow.
Chewbacca.
I don't know. You're a hairy man. I don't know.
I'm not. Well, no.
You're not hairy?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm Asian, so I'm hairy but not hairy. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
It makes sense.
Okay. Actually, before we proceed, can we make sure that the recording's good?
Yeah.
Everything, the sound's good.
Hold on.
Okay, let's double check on this.
So a minute 50. The last time we recorded, it went to
Yes.
a minute. It went to 3 minutes.
Okay, so let's go back in the 3-minute mark, but I want to make sure.
We're at a minute 23 right now, so we're good.
So just for people who didn't realize that we weren't last week, explain what happened.
Last week, we recorded a nice hour-long episode.
Yeah, I don't know. You were really into that episode.
Oh, that
too.
episode, I was like friggin' on fire. It was the best episode I think I've ever done. And the sound didn't record. We have video, but we have 3 minutes of video with sound.
Maybe you should just put on the video and just let
subtitles.
People, put subtitles and just get people to just react or with our gestures or if for people or for anybody who wants to learn how to read lips. That's a good practice.
Well, yeah, that's true. But then there's parts that you answer that you're not on screen. I'm on screen. You're not on screen. You're on screen. I'm not on screen talking. All that confusion and unnecessary stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen,
big deal.
We're back at it.
Okay.
This is dropping when we're recording it, so that's today.
Okay.
So yeah, sometime it's going to be up today. As soon as we're done recording, I'm doing all the artworks and editing and all that, and hopefully everything works out. Hold on, checking. We're good.
Mic check 1 2.
You're good.
Okay.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, of course, the topic of today, boom, is Star Wars: Rise of the Skywalker.
Part 2.
Yeah.
This is okay.
This is our second part. This is
this is kind of like deja vu. So yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry. We'll get through this. Al, we can get through this. All right. Initial reaction, aka this is spoiler heavy, people, because I ain't reviewing this without spoiling because I got things to say. I know Al has things to say.
I'm not gonna lie. I do have things to say, but because it's been a while since I saw the movie.
It's been a while. I saw it the Thursday it came out. You saw it the Sunday it came out?
No, the Saturday.
The Saturday.
Well, that weekend. I don't remember.
So it's been a hot minute since we saw it.
Yeah.
But I'm still fired up. I'm gonna give this 2 ratings. Before we jump into it and all that, because it deserves 2 ratings for me. Specifically, it's kind of like a Michael Bay film for me.
Okay.
As a popcorn film, just standing on it alone, I give it an 8.5 on 10. Because it has the action you want, has a bit of story, but you're feeling the pace, you're loving it, and it's great. I love that because it's a true popcorn film. Little story, big action. That's a popcorn film, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
As part of the Star Wars saga, that is the Skywalker saga, it's bad. Now, I know me and you, we have our difference of opinions regarding The Last Jedi.
Yes.
You're not a fan of it?
Yeah, man, I gotta watch that one too. But anyways, go ahead.
I am a fan of The Last Jedi. I really liked The Last Jedi. I like The Force Awakens because
that's my favorite one of the 3. So, and I do love to watch it every so often too when I can.
The Force Awakens, I have to say, is a great movie. It's a great Star Wars movie.
It's a great Star Wars movie, and it's and I think we were talking about this last episode. But the thing is, for me, that is kind of like A New Hope.
Yeah,
that's the exact same storyline. But again, it's a modern take to it, and you introduce new characters and
the introduction of the characters are nearly the exact same as A New Hope,
and they're appealing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I love the characters of Rey, Poe, and Finn. I think they're great.
Okay.
A great replacement for Leia, Luke, and Han.
Okay.
I like BB-8.
BB-8's cute.
I love him. He's a fun, adorable little droid.
He's no R2-D2, but he's a cute little lad. Robot. Droid.
Agreed. He's not as foul mouth as R2, but
You can't go more foul mouthed than R2.
no, R2 is probably the most. He's bleeped in every single movie he's in.
That bleeping bleep.
That's 9 movies he's in. He's bleeped in all 9 movies.
Yeah.
But anyways, going back to The Rise of Skywalker. As an action movie, as just a popcorn flick, I loved it. It had the action. It had the somewhat twists and turns. But as a Star Wars movie, I feel like it's failed. It failed, and I'm giving a massive shout out to my boy AJ from Cult Popture, their podcast / YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Links in the notes down below. Highly suggest you listen to their latest version of What's Wrong with Star Wars, because I fully am in agreement. Like, I didn't think about some of the stuff that he brought up until I listened to it, and I thought back on it. And I'm like, it's fucking true. If you look at it, The Last Jedi, with Rian Johnson throwing out pretty much all of the mystery boxes that JJ opened up or created in the Force Awakens. In the last Jedi, he destroyed them. He said Rey's not important. Doesn't matter who Rey's parents are. Fuck them. Doesn't matter who Snoke is. Fuck it. Snoke's not important. And it's like, oh my god, this is so true. Because it doesn't matter who's Rey's parents is. In The Last Hope, we didn't know who Luke's parents were, but we didn't care. We knew he was an orphan. We knew he had his aunt and uncle raised him. We didn't know who Han's parents were. We don't know who Leia's parents were at the time. You find this all out in The Empire Strikes Back, and that gives us a bit more understanding of the character. But I don't think Rey needed to have parents. I think Rey being an unknown and not having those parents gives little girls the power to be like, it doesn't matter who you're connected to. You can be connected to no one important, but you can become important. But now, because they connected her to Palpatine, the only reason she's important now is because she's a Palpatine. That's my opinion. Like, it shows, it's taking all the good lessons that The Last Jedi had and saying they're not important. Like, little girls, you need to be connected to someone powerful to be someone important. Obviously, as 2 males, I'm assuming your gender here, it's fine.
Okay.
As 2 males, we don't have that problem because we know in the world we can make our own name. It doesn't matter who we're connected to. We can strike out and become this huge popular person without having connections to anyone. Whereas for a girl, it's harder. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Okay.
Also, the fact that they took Rose and put her as a background character just because of the backlash that the gatekeepers of the Star Wars fandom had, like, that's ridiculous. Rose is the one who knows most about the starships, the Star Destroyers, and they're going against a fleet of Star Destroyers, but they're like, no, Rose, you stay here. Us, with no knowledge at all of Star Destroyers, we're going to take out the fleet. And it's like, what the fuck? So, like, I didn't like that. And then you had kind of like a really great bromance going between Finn and Poe that could have become the first ever major LGBTQ character, like, couple in the Star Wars universe.
Okay.
What, you had a problem with that?
No, I just... Do we really need to go that route?
Why not?
With the, I think the bromance is good enough. I'll go into the other, like, opinions about it, but, like, in terms of that, like, I think Like there was no romance in general in out of these three stars, which I'm fine with. I think the closest was the Rose and Finn,
Yeah.
which look, I don't know what the intentions were from Last Jedi to getting in with them because that kind of romance or friendship or whatever they had was just completely like not even mentioned at all or not even a nudge to it through Rise of the Skywalker or Rise of Skywalker, whatever you want to call it. So I don't know. I think just the bromance is good enough. Like in a sense, you don't need to go that because Star Wars is just a general like sci-fi fantasy, right? So like,
I agree.
do you really need to put like any more politics into it?
So the reason why I bring that up
Mm-hmm.
is strictly because they added two characters
Mm-hmm.
out of nowhere just to give them a love interest.
Oh, okay. Are you talking about the one with Poe?
Poe
Yeah.
and Kerry Washington.
No, it's Carrie Russell.
Kerry Russell, sorry.
Felicity, I love that show.
And then you have Finn with the other stormtrooper girl, who possibly could be Billy D. Williams, a.k.a. Lando Calrissian's daughter.
Well, you'll never know.
We don't know. But, like, you have this situation, and I'm like, this isn't needed. Like, there doesn't need to be a love situation at all. Like, they could have just brought Rose along, and Rose could have been the love interest of Finn.
Or because Finn had like a little attraction with Rey, but obviously that didn't pan out. But whatever, because he was put into the friend zone. But I don't know. You're trying to duplicate something like a Luke and Leia thing, which you didn't ultimately need to do.
No.
So.
Like,
Even okay, like I'll go into deep after, but the little connection with Rey and Kylo Ren or Ben, that's another
that
another
didn't
thing.
need to happen.
Kids, like okay, I guess we'll dive into it
We'll
right
just
now.
dive right in.
Like that the thing. Okay, like you see that they're connected. They have the foresight,
yeah.
and they're connecting. It's cool, and then that spoilers like that little kissing scene there when Ben saved Rey, that wasn't needed.
No.
That was kind of out of nowhere.
It
type
was.
of thing. So
Like,
if they were gonna address it, that they were gonna be like kind of like a love interest, and they should have just gone fully, or at least started it with, which I kind of guess they kind of did with Last Jedi, but then it just became like nonsense. I don't know.
what Abrams did was he pretty much undid all of the work that Johnson did in the
What I
last.
think Johnson all did the same thing with.
Well, here's the thing: the first movie
Yeah.
was getting people back into Star Wars, so you needed to be somewhat comfortable,
Yeah.
which they did. They did pretty much A New Hope,
Yeah.
Redux,
Yeah. Which is fine. I love it.
no problem. But everybody who saw A New Hope didn't know what was going to happen in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, because it was fresh.
It was fresh, and no one knew what was going to happen in Return of the Jedi because, again, it was fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing: you have A New Hope starting.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody figures we're going to get an Empire Strikes Back,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't.
Mm-hmm.
Johnson decides, you know what? We're going to try something new,
Mm-hmm.
which is Star Wars. New things make Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So he tried to make something new.
Mm-hmm.
He made Luke understand that Luke started drinking his own Kool-Aid regarding how awesome he was.
I just think he made Luke as like really like a weak.
He didn't. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
The strongest thing Luke... I love how we're not even talking Rise of Skywalker right now.
Yeah.
The strongest thing Luke could do was cut himself off from the Force.
Which he did.
He did. He chose... Because he looked at it, he's like, look, I'm the savior of... He started to believe the legend that was being created about him.
Mm-hmm.
So he started to think that he was all-powerful, all-knowing, this amazing Jedi. And he realized that, oh no, he has hubris, which was the downfall of the Jedi. Okay?
Okay.
So he realized when he indirectly created Kylo Ren... He indirectly created Kylo Ren because of his hubris. And he realized maybe that is the problem with the Jedi. That the fact that they don't allow feelings causes Jedi to either go down the dark side, to not be this, to be blind to the dark side. So he's like, you know what? I'm the last Jedi. I am going to end the Jedi. Which is fair.
Mm-hmm. Which is hence why it's The Last Jedi.
Yeah. So he ends the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
He's the last one to be properly trained. Fuck. Sorry. Wire was connected to my foot.
You're still alive, right?
Yeah, I'm still alive.
Okay, for people who are listening to the podcast, Phil is still alive, so no worries.
So he decides to go off and die. Except we need the Last Jedi one last time. Which shows up at the end. And he shows that the actual way of the Jedi is non-combatant. Okay? For me, I think it was amazing how they took how everybody in the world sees Luke as this amazing, strong, frigging, unstoppable superhero, and he turned it on their heads. He said Luke started believing that, but he knew he wasn't. That's what
I just think it wasn't, like, I kind of understood your kind of point of view. I just think on screen it wasn't well executed. And don't get me wrong, I love Rian Johnson, and because one of my favorite movies of all time is Loopers. Mm-hmm. I just think looking at all three movies, that the inconsistency shows, and I think if they were gonna do it, they should have just had one director.
Yeah, I fully agree with you.
Because the thing is, like, JJ started something, he planted seeds, and then Rian Johnson just kind of turned it over and put his thing, hoping that, I think Trevor, whatever, the guy who did Jurassic World, was supposed to do the third one, and then he do his thing, but it just goes to show that the inconsistency from Force Awakens to Last Jedi, it didn't work, and then now it's like, with Rise of Skywalker, what JJ had to do was pretty much just do damage control.
Well, he could have continued down the route.
Yeah, but
he could have continued down the route that Rian Johnson opened.
I think one thing that you can tell for sure, you could tell that they don't talk like bad blood between Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams, but I think for the most part, if you read between the lines, like there was just lack of communication with those two, because if they were gonna do something, and then with Trevor too, if they were gonna do all three of them, were gonna do something, they would have been on the same page. So, and we're still recording too.
Yeah, we are.
So, I in all fairness, and I'll say this: like with Rise of Skywalker, it's a good movie. I just to the point where I kind of want to see it again. Yeah. Just to get the story plot into it, but I think and I said this in the last podcast, which we didn't record.
Never happened.
This is the weaker of the three.
Oh yeah, fully agreed. This is the weaker
and even
of the
though
three.
I don't have a really distinct, I do like Last Jedi for the visuals and
it's beautifully shot.
Beautifully shot. And again, I do like Rian Johnson. I want to see Knives Out. I haven't seen it yet. But I just think there was just something missing with that movie that I just couldn't appeal to. Especially too, like the whole the casino plot.
I'm not saying that The Last Jedi was perfect.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying I enjoyed the direction in which Rian Johnson had taken the saga of the Skywalkers.
Yeah, I just think it was. I think if there was a better smooth transition from the story plot from Force Awakens to Last Jedi, and then an even smoother transition from Last Jedi to, I think it should have been one director.
Oh, I fully. I'm fully
if it was going to be Rian Johnson to do it, then it should have been for him to do all three, or if it's JJ, it was supposed to do all three.
Personally, since JJ did the first, he should have done all three. Yeah, I would have been fine with that. Yeah. No problem. Yeah. It felt like The Rise of Skywalker is two movies. For me, the first half, I would say, of the movie is what the Last Jedi, JJ wanted The Last Jedi to be. And then the second half is The Rise of Skywalker. Personally, I like the idea that I love the fact that the Emperor's back.
I don't, now thinking about it.
But here's the thing. I like it because it's like, okay, you have this big baddie, but I would have liked it to be known that the Emperor was back at the end of The Force Awakens.
Like a cliffhanger.
Kind of like a cliffhanger. Like we hear this announcement.
Like Luke, like that Darth Vader announcing that Luke is
his father. Yeah. So you have that in the Force Awakens. You have this ominous threat, and then we finish with the Palpatine at the end of Rise of Skywalker.
I just think
Palpatine
was useless.
Yeah, I fully agree with you.
Okay, I guess because the Palpatine's in because of, I think Snoke was supposed to be something bigger than what happened to him in Last Jedi. For him to say, "Oh, Snoke was just a pawn," and even then, it's unclear of like how he kind of survived from Return of the Jedi. Cause you think he'd be dead.
Yeah.
Like Darth Vader threw him into the that pit, that power core electronic pit, and you think he'd be dead. But
so from what I understand from reading stuff, listening to podcasts about this, in the old canon, which is now Legends, I believe, which isn't technically canon, Palpatine apparently had made clones. Okay, and there's a holographic version of him. There's actual clones, and it harkens back to the prequels, where Palpatine is talking about Dark Plagueis, and how he learned to take control of certain things, certain dark arts, like cloning.
Okay.
So if you look at it, I'm paraphrasing. This is from another podcast. I can't remember which one, but Jedi believe in an afterlife.
Yeah.
So that's why there's Force ghosts. Like they become one with the Force. Okay.
Okay.
That's why there's Force ghosts. They know that if they die, it's only their body that's dying. It's not them that's dying. Type deal. They believe in they get reborn into the Force. So the Jedi are never scared of dying. That's why you see Ben going willingly to his death.
Yeah, the problem is like if you're not I'm a Star Wars fan, but if you're not super into like the whole canon, read the books, then it's just like, and also too, it's like because the thing is a lot of this stuff like that's like an extra 30 minutes into a particular movie to explain all that too. So if you're just gonna go right into it, like which they pretty much did with Rise of Skywalker, it's like if you don't know the backstories or the canons or read any of the books, that's just you know what I mean. Not to say that I don't know this. I kind of know this, but like to have this kind of put in perspective without any direct content,
it's hard to know.
Yeah, it's because everything was kind of explained in the
scroll
in the beginning. So it's like okay, when I was reading it, I'm like, oh, interesting. Like, oh, Palpatine. Oh, he's back. Interesting. You know.
But finishing my point, the Sith, they don't believe in anything, so they die. It's end of the game. So that's why cloning is considered a dark art, because you can continue your life, you know?
Yeah. I think at this point you could have just brought back Darth Maul somehow. Just
personally,
do that.
I would have liked to see Kylo Ren as the big baddie.
Yeah, okay. Because that's kind of the way at this point.
That's how The Last Jedi ended.
Yeah.
With him being the big guy. Sucks that Hux became like this jokeable person, but whatever.
God, he's a great Donald Glover. Oh no, Gleeman, Donald Gleeman. Oh, yeah, he's a great actor.
Yeah, anyways. He is. I don't like how he became like a kind of a brunt of a joke.
Yeah, I didn't like the fact that in Rise of Skywalker he just became the mole.
Yeah.
And then another superior like him kills him, and then he gets killed off. Oh my god.
Yeah. But I would have loved to see the beginning of this movie, Rey going to different planets, trying to drum up support for the rebellion, and then have.
Oh, excuse me.
It's fine. Then have you see Kylo searching for like ancient Sith knowledge or something like that, And it's just like them racing, and then finally a big battle happens, and the rebellion wins, Yay, and Adam Driver dies. And then the final scene. I like the idea of the final scene where she's on Tatooine.
Yeah.
And the girl goes, "Who are you?"
Mm-hmm.
She should have just go, "Rey. I'm just Rey." And then just end right there. You know, like she doesn't need to be connected to the Palpatines. She doesn't need to be connected to the Skywalkers, the Kenobis, or
But the
anything.
problem is like because the expectations to finding out. Sorry, I'm just burping a lot. The reason like the problem is with that is like everything was set up in Force Awakens to find that was their cliffhanger, where because of the nuggets of like where she's from, like if that wasn't there, then I think maybe it would have been Last Jedi would have been kind of a better kind of transition, but because the expectations of finding who Rey's parents is or where she came from and how she was able to get the Force obtain the Force. Excuse me. I think it would have been better, but the thing is, JJ started this kind of with Force Awakens with the expectations of realizing who would basically raise background in Last Jedi. So, but
look, it's a good popcorn film if you can turn off your brain and just enjoy.
It was kind of cool to see Palpatine. Like as much as I say I don't like to see Palpatine, it was cool to see him kind of like evil.
Yeah, pure evil.
Like in the dark. That was kind of scary. If kids wouldn't be able to see that because it's kind of scary.
Look, I'm not gonna hate on it. I'm probably gonna watch it another time when it comes out on Disney Plus.
You wanted to go and see it in the big screen?
I think I may go see it again in the theaters.
Going on Tuesday?
Go on a Cheapy Tuesday or something like
Tuesday?
that.
Gotcha.
And enjoy the movie.
Yeah. Actually, I know.
Jesus, Murphy with those yawning
I
already.
want to put you on a hot spot because shout out to DJ Vertigo.
Hey-o.
We talked about this because actually he's kind of eager to see your opinion. But the thing is, we did a kind of a list of our favorite
Star Wars.
Like we list them from like worst to best, like out of up to 9. Oh no, and we included also Solo and Rogue One. So you think in the top of your head, you think you can do all 11?
I can try.
Okay. Here, I'll say mine because I have it on my phone.
Okay.
And while you're thinking about this,
I'll write up my list now while you read them.
Yeah, and then also too for anybody that wants to like comment about this, like by all means, like it was kind of a cool talk about it, and maybe if Vertigo's down, maybe he can give out his list in our comment section or anything. I'll give a shout out to him. I hope I didn't delete it. Oh, here it is. So yeah, there's 11 of them, right? So I'll go from my least favorite to my favorite, and I think you'll agree with most of it. But for number 11, I went to Attack of the Clones. I thought that was the worst.
I'm in agreement.
Yeah. Number 10, Phantom Menace. A little bit better because of Darth Maul. That fight scene in the end with Darth Maul and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, I think it's probably the best.
It's one of the best lightsaber battles.
Yeah, because
I have to give the set like that is pretty good, but also the throne fight scene from Last Jedi.
Yeah,
that is a pretty badass fight scene.
But that's what Last Jedi is number 9.
Okay,
just because of that too, that scene there, like when what's his name, Kylo Ren kills Snoke. That scene where he's fighting like the red.
Yeah, the red guards.
Yeah, that was a pretty good scene. Number 8, I put in Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
I just thought the volcano scene was great. Yeah. Like, and then anything after that, it's just garbage. Like, like no.
Yeah, I can agree with you. The
like you made Darth Vader like a little bitch. Yeah. Like
I can agree with putting the prequels in the bottom 3.
Yeah. So, but then number 7, I put Solo. I thought it was an entertaining movie.
If it wasn't a Star Wars movie,
yeah,
great.
Yeah,
as a Star Wars,
like
movie,
I forgot the actor's name, but when he played, he was good. He was good at Han,
I think I would,
but it was different.
Revenge of the Sith above Solo.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Was it number 6? I put Rise of the Skywalker just because it's new. It's great.
You've seen it once.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So and then number 5, I put Rogue One.
Okay.
Rogue One's good. Like I think I put it higher, but it's tough because then my next 4 is gonna be of course like, but number 5 I thought reasonably number 5 would be Rogue One because I think it's respectable.
Yeah,
it's a great movie.
It's a good.
And like everything else is like good top notch movie. So but number 4 I put A New Hope. And I could have put it higher, but it's just for personal reasons. I think and the original is great. I can watch it over and over, but I like Force Awakens a bit more. That's why I put it number 3.
Okay.
I just love because it's like it is a new hope, but with modern twist to it, and you revealing new characters, so it's good. Number 2, and this was a little bit of a controversy because it's like, but this is my personal list. Number 2, I put Empire Strikes Back.
And your number 1 is Return of the
Return
Jedi?
of the Jedi because it's something that we grew up watching it.
I have to say,
yeah,
minor tweaks to yours.
Yeah.
Just where Solo is.
Yeah.
And maybe Rogue One moved down a bit.
Yeah.
Like just one.
Yeah.
But I'm in full agreement.
Yeah.
For me, Return of the Jedi is the best Star Wars movie.
No. Okay, here. This is my personal favorite, right?
Same with me.
Yeah.
Same with me. My personal favorite, simply because it was the first Star Wars movie I saw.
Yeah, that's it. But I have to say, I think Empire is the better movie of the two. Yes.
Story-wise,
yes.
Emperor is better.
Yes.
Personal-wise,
it's
Return of the Jedi.
I just want to iterate that because I'm going by personal preference. Yes, I love it, but Empire. There's a reason why Empire is like top 5, like AFI, like all time. Because of course it's a cliffhanger, but the thing is, it is the better movie of the two. But Return of the Jedi, because I love the Ewoks.
See, for me, it was I just remember sitting in my the cannibalistic Ewoks.
I have the song, the original Nub Nub song.
Yeah,
because it's on YouTube. Yeah. But again, it's like I want to see the original theatrical versions of the original 3, but it's like, will we ever get it?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I have to say, story-wise, the Empire is the best story in the Star Wars movies. Mm-hmm. Personally wise, Return of the Jedi for me is because I'm sitting downstairs in my uncle's house, and I see the 20th Century Fox, the da-da-da-da, with these kind of like the Star Wars theme playing along with it. Then Star Wars, and then it just picks up, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm in love. Like, that movie made me love Star Wars. So that's, for me, is why Return of the Jedi, for me, is my personal favorite. But it's a top, for me, Empire is a better story.
I think it's a better story, and I have to admit, it is a better movie.
It is.
Yeah. For what it was, because it is more of a cultural phenomenon than Return of the Jedi, but because we're going by personal preference, and well, for me, Return of the Jedi is number 1. Or if you want to call it like Revenge of the Jedi, I don't know. Like a lot of people.
Revenge of the Jedi.
I still have, I had the original bed sheets that said Revenge of the Jedi. But
shit.
But my my parents threw it out. But I remember having. I was like, oh shit.
I remember having the Star Wars bed sheets.
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
It's going back.
Yeah.
Going back.
But I know if anybody has any memorabilia or anything that says Revenge of the Jedi, that is worth a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
So by all means, like,
keep it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it for this episode. Al?
Yes.
You want to say anything?
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you as well.
I'm still going to be wearing my Star Wars t-shirts, so don't get me wrong.
Of course, if you want to listen to Al, you can check out his website, www.djoverflowmtl.com. If you want to check out the Phil Better Show, it's on all social medias. It's at Phil Better Show. That's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Make sure you reach out to us. Let us know what you think, what you like, what you want us to talk about. Tell us what you thought of Rise of Skywalker.
And also, too, like I want to see people's lists. So
yeah, maybe let us know what your list is.
Yeah, give us your top 11,
And make sure you go see a movie, people.
Okay. Give Disney more money. Go see Rise of Skywalker again.
There you go. Go see. That's the movie of the week from DJ Overflow. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Phil Better. He is DJ Overflow, a.k.a. Al.
Well, you know Bad Boys for Life is coming out this week.
I can't wait.
Okay, we'll talk after.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good day. And maybe there's a second podcast coming. Who knows?
There's a second podcast coming. Okay, let's just
Yeah, I'm not. It's going to be on Thursday. As normal.
Just stop the recording.